13th of January, 3:10 p.m. here in Berlin, Germany. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey, casting our chart in this startup universe. Designer Jake here with engineer Trey as always. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake.
We should probably add to your title, COVID riddled engineer
COVID
Trey.
suffused
Suffused with COVID. I have
as of
not
this
tested for
morning.
COVID. I feel great. Trey has COVID. Trey does not feel great.
Yeah, you're gonna get me at my best. I rolled out of bed, which is right over there, to this chair to do this video. I was working all day though. You made me work all day. I will
Yeah.
point out, for the record.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely necessary as part of as
Setting
part
the
of cosmic plumbing.
expectations for
So
employees at Cosmic
yeah,
Plumbing.
exactly at cosmic plumbing. 100%. I'm sorry that you have COVID right now.
You too.
You are in the position you last time that I was sick, if you want to go back to the charts giving episode or right up there, you will have noticed that I was laying down on a couch. You at least are sitting up. We have this kind of upwards camera angle towards you.
Yeah.
I think it's
Good news for viewers that are fed up with our long-winded crap.
oh yeah.
It will be very much less long-winded this time.
You say that now. We have
That's
no
true.
idea what this is going to be like, but we did say that we're going to do quite the edit. Trey has made very clear that the edit usually favors me as opposed to favoring him, and that's fine.
It
I
gives me
told
the
him
villain edit
I give
every
him the
time.
villain edit every single time. I told him that he can do the edit, and he has decided to just complain but not take the edit, and that's absolutely fine with me. So today's episode is called Rockin Roddin, which we'll explain here in a second. It is, again, the 13th of January, episode 17. I'm going to start with a little bit of like universal leftovers from a prior episode. Of course, we'll do the check-in question. Then we have three very quick demos today, two of which are Trey's, which he's going to show a live book loading in of natives and displaying the natives. And we'll also look at the capital V visual design first takes. Thank you very much. Um, so first of all, when we talk about a little bit about the universe, back in episode 15, if you want to go back and take a look up there, one thing that we had talked about after I went through a complete laughing fit because of Trey's inability to get emojis to work on Sonoma, then having hearts pop out of his mouth.
You could do the thing where you like just do the mouth in. Demetra. Oh, whoa, I got hearts. What?
We had talked a little bit about how we really enjoy how nothing is perfect in the universe and how everything's kind of like messy and left over. Did you know, Trey Henry, that there is such a thing as leap seconds in this world?
Oh God, I'm sure there is. I mean, at some point in time, like there has to be some accounting for the wobble
It's
in.
worse. It's actually worse than what. So a couple things about leap seconds. So since 1972, we have had 27 leap seconds. And in these leap seconds, we have always added 1 second. So there has been times, at least 27 times, where the time has been, let me
Off
make
by a
sure,
second.
23:59. So 11:59 and 60 seconds, which is bonkers, by the way. So, for example, in 1972, the first leap second we ever had was the 30th of June, Universal, so UTC, 20th, the 30th of June, 1972 at 11:59 and 60 seconds p.m. Now, the leap second is crazy because it is coordinated. It is not on a per hour basis like leap years are. They are coordinated all at the same time. And so a leap second that happens in UTC at 11:59 and 60 seconds happens in Asian markets while the markets are going, which causes global chaos, by the way, because adding a second to to the year actually causes meaningful impact to this world.
Yeah, that's
Um,
interesting. I spent a
yeah,
little bit of time with the there's a networking protocol for time on networks called NTP,
yeah,
and it is notoriously um, thorny and horrific, and it's really critical for distributed systems because they have to agree on time
yeah.
usually.
The SI unit for time, obviously seconds. The solar day is 86,400 seconds. There are some days that we have had that are 86,401. seconds long. The longest year now on record is 1972, where that was 366 days and 2 seconds.
Yeah.
By the way, the thing that has really twisted my noodle on this one is that the idea of needing a leap second is non-deterministic because Earth's rotation speed changes irregularly
Yeah.
based
This is
upon
this is
things
why.
such as earthquakes, tectonic shifts, all
Yeah.
types of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
it's
really cool.
it's nuts. Want to take a guess when the last time we had a leap second was?
Let's say in the 90s, 95.
2016. We had a
Really
leap second.
crazy.
Yeah, no idea. I never knew about it until started getting really into time. Which is now
Oh,
my
and
new
also
thing.
just to go back to my statement, I think the expectation is that the sun's rotation is constant, not that it's one, because there's 360 degrees and 365 and change um,
Yeah, I mean we
days
just
in a
use
solar cycle.
360
So
because
but you would
of
expect that it would always be the exact same number, because it is the fixed thing in our solar system and the Earth is rotating around it. But because the Earth's rotation is not exactly, as you said, completely correct, or it's not exactly completely accurate over
consistent.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy. So they
fascinating.
have to decide 6 months ahead of time whether we're going to have a leap second. Crazy. And who is they?
Yeah.
Some cabal
What if
of
you're born on that leap
timekeepers.
second?
Yeah, who was born on a leap second? I want to meet those people. Who was born at 11:59 and 60 seconds
How could it
coordinated
be
time?
11:59:60? It has to be 11:59:59 because
No,
11:59:60.
11:59:59 is a normal time. 11:59:60
Oh,
is
is
the
the
leap
added
second.
second.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? I
But then it
know
can't be,
your
but then it
face
would
is
just,
my face.
this is so confusing.
Okay. Indeed it is. Good times talking about universal leftovers, more like Earth's leftovers, Earth on that
Earths.
one. My checking question for you
Yes.
today is what is one thing that you feel that you have excellent taste in? Like, where do you feel like you have the most excellent taste?
It's an interesting question considering I currently have COVID and have no taste.
Exactly. That's why I said it
Uh,
was a pertinent question today.
Actually, I do have taste, but it's definitely off because coffee was weird this morning. It has to be coffee, right?
You have the best taste in coffee?
Um, the best taste. I mean, there's definitely people that have better taste in coffee than I do, but I
Yeah,
would say that probably of the things in the set of stuff
that is excellent tasting.
that I have like some experience in, I would say that probably taste in coffee is got to be up there on the list because I really appreciate it's something we do every day, and as Jake can attest, I'm very fidgety about it.
Indeed. Now the question is whether or not excellent taste means like being fidgety about something means that you have excellent taste in that, or are you just fidgety
Mm.
as a person?
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a good point. Like while I'm not a professional like barista or anything like that, I feel like I could probably between maybe like a couple of shots or several shots, like have a pretty good idea of like this one's pretty good and well developed and well extracted and blah blah blah. And this one is like, too sour or too
Garbage,
bitter
swill
or
water, disgusting.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like a part of taste is learning how to develop the palate of whatever the thing is. And I feel like I've spent a fair amount of time developing a coffee palate. Yeah, I'm gonna go with coffee. I like coffee.
Coffee. That it
What about
done.
you?
I think that I have excellent taste in gummies.
Oh,
Literally like the gummy and like
yeah,
the quality, texture. Yes.
that's funny because I was gonna say Haribo.
Yeah, Haribo. I mean, Haribo is by far the best, but we also have, I mean, they're not sponsoring us, as it turns
Not
out. They're
yet.
not paying us money. So if a gummy company wants to pay us money, absolutely I'm here for it. But
Little
just know that
astrological gummies. Like,
I we could and should have astrological gummies. So there was a time when I was not eating sugar because I was doing a workout regimen that was quite crazy. Trey had made sour gummies for me.
I did.
And actually you had your own little shaping tin thing
Yeah,
to
it
make the
made like
gelatin.
little dinosaurs, I think, or something. They were cute.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They were cute. But astrological gummies is something that I think the populace is clamoring for. You know what? Subscribe. Let us know. Go
Yeah.
into the comments. Let us know. Astrological gummies. Are you here for it?
Also, I like because you could do the color associations, and then you could come up with flavor associations based on like tastes associated with the planets. In
Yeah.
like obviously you don't want to make Saturn taste like lead. I mean,
I
maybe
mean,
you do. I don't know.
maybe you do. I don't know. I was trying to think of what would be a very martial flavor. What is a very Venusian flavor?
Yeah. I feel like there's like going back to Valence and like I think there's a lot of like classic writers that have talked about these kinds of
Oh, of course
associations.
there are. All the way
Yeah,
through the text, they talk about this like tastes and things like that.
yeah, taste, smells, colors, all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
So I guess so if we had made a Pisces gummy, it would taste like feet. That's how this is going to go down. That's the one I really
Least
remember.
favorite gummy.
Least favorite gummy. It's like the popcorn Jelly Belly. It's just not very nice.
Yeah, nobody's gonna want these gummies. It's like
No.
Saturn is lead flavored, Pisces is foot flavored.
This is lead. This is going to give you lead poisoning. This tastes like feet. And if you combine them together, it's really awful.
What does Capricorn taste like? Seaweed
Yeah, goat fish. I guess it's goat cheese and fish
and
essence. So
fish.
that would be very nice.
Oh,
Okay. We're here for the astrological gummies. Let us know
yeah,
how you want them delivered to you. We're here for it.
absolutely.
This is where Cosmic's actually going to make its money in the gummy market. Can you explain a little bit why this is called Rockin Roddin?
Yeah, although I feel like you're gonna do a much better job of
I
explaining.
know, but I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Let me tee it up for you. There was a astrologer who came up with who had done a lot of research and kind of collected a lot of native charts.
Yeah.
And I don't know what time frame she did this in really. So this is where your details
60s,
are gonna come in.
70s, yeah, some around there.
Yeah, and then and really kind of amassed this sort of collection, and then realized that the astrological community at that point in time was pretty sloppy about whether or not like a particular birth date and time was accurate,
Yeah.
or how accurate it was. And so she came up with a rating system, which is now named after her, the Rodden rating.
Yep.
And we haven't that it's not. I don't think it's 100% widely used in
It's
astrological circles,
pretty
but we
yeah,
believe it
it's
should be.
pretty consistently used for birth information. It's relatively consistently used. Sometimes it is either not used or misused. The reason that we of course called the cycle Rockin Roddin is because we've gotten the Rodden rating in, and Trey's going to show a little bit about what that means. But also, we're doing a pun on Rockin Robin. Little did I know, though, if you go to the Astrodienst page on Lois Rodden, which I'm going to go to right now, look at Rockin Rodden here.
Holy crap, she's so fab.
Yeah, Lois Rodden.
Is she
Uh,
still alive?
no, she died
Oh.
this is in German, so I apologize. She died in 2003. There she is. Great, but like there she is also. So
Yeah.
this is some Rockin
The
Rodden
Raiders
energy.
jacket.
And that's why I think she grew up in Los Angeles, even though she was born in Canada. Yes. Anyways,
Okay.
that's why we call this Rockin Rodden. Trey, why don't you show us loading in some
Yeah.
natives with these Rockin Rodden ratings?
Yeah. This one's going to be relatively quick. And we're going to start out with a new low in demos, which is a completely blank page.
Hey.
Look at this completely blank page. Isn't it beautiful? You know, the first step to failure is to try. So I feel like a blank page is
Is this trying?
cracking.
Is Blank Pages trying?
No, it hasn't. We haven't tried yet. We're going to try through the
I
process
see.
of this demo,
Let's do it.
possibly
Let's
fail.
try. Yeah.
So you'll notice that the URL here is celebs.
Mm.
This might change, and lots of what you're about to see will change. But we talked about live books before and how we're utilizing them for talking to Cosmic outside of the context of the application itself, which gives us a safe space to do kind of cool things. One of the kind of cool things that we can now do is we can bulk add data for natives and events, and most especially charts. And charts was a thing that wasn't in the system before. And I'm gonna show a little bit about this, but also there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening in here as well. So just for the purposes of demo, I have just myself and my
Donald Lloyd
actual
Henry
real name.
III.
Yes, you can see that we have
otherwise known
many,
as
many
Trey.
name fields, as previously
Yes.
mentioned as well. And then we also have Jake in here with his
Joseph Jacob Zachariah Zakowski, otherwise known as
exactly.
Jake.
Yep. And then you'll also notice that we have a list of events, and then in that event we have a birth event, and this is my birth date, and then the Latin long of my birth location, and then rating, and rating is the Rodden rating, which we'll show in a second. And so this is very like in codey kind of stuff. You would never see this as a user of our system, as a member of our system. But this is how we would, for example, pull in a lot of data from another source to sort of populate our database out of the box. So I can just do this, and then I basically inserted those into the database, and then voila. And now
Ooh,
we're actually looking at the celebs list in the thing. Now, again, this is Jake is going to show in just a second designs for this stuff. So this is
this is not
absolutely
designed.
placeholder. Do not expect that this is what it's going to look like. There's a lot more cool stuff that's
Yeah.
going to be here. But this is really demoing a couple of pretty awesome things. Awesome thing number one is that we're showing positional data, but you'll notice that
There was no
in the Y
positional data that you entered in. Exactly.
that's
We're calculating it.
exactly. And so we have charts now, and those charts are associated with the events, and the event can have multiple birth events. And as we said last time, you can have conflicting birth information, and we automatically grab the one that has the highest Rodden rating. And because Jake's birth certificate is a little bit dodgy, it doesn't look super official. I
What?
only gave him an accurate instead of an accurate, which mine is actually from a an
I
official.
don't know. I don't know if you're going to say that the birth certificate quality in Carson City, Nevada in 1974 was somehow better than it was in Libertyville, Illinois in 1979. I am here to debate you, sir,
Yeah,
on
I
this
also love
channel.
it's like I think you can look at over time the accuracy of people's birth dates by whether or not there's like any sort of minute remainder. You know, it's like the actual accuracy. It's like I was born at 1720.
I
You
was
know,
born at
or
midnight.
14.
This is what I hear. I was born at midnight. I'm like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, and then I also dropped in the speed here of the moon as well. We have a really cool visualization plan for how this stuff is all going to look, and Jake will go into that in a little bit.
My moon's
But yeah,
faster.
so I just wanted to show that like this doesn't seem like a lot because I basically just hit a button on a page and then like this stuff shows up. So for anybody who doesn't know what went into making this happen, it looks very simple and straightforward. But in fact, there was a ton of work that went into all of the data modeling and how all these things are associated and related and calculated and just blah. There was quite a lot that went on behind the scenes here. But now that
Yeah.
it's all wired up, we can sort of iterate on making it look cool.
Very good. Love that. So let's go into a little bit of the design then. Where is this going to go? He stalls while he tries to find there it is. I found it. So first of all, we've seen this before, but we've edited it now based upon some more information. These are sketch cards for sketch pages, sorry, for the card, the list, and the detail page for the native, right? So here's Celine Dion. She has 2 birthdays. We've discussed that before. Imagine that her more Rodden rating, higher Rodden rating birthday comes in, which is this symbol here. We're showing that as a kind of like softened yield sign. You'll see there's actually visual treatment for this coming up. She was born 30th March of 1968, and this shows a placement. So her moon was at 23 degrees of Capricorn, 48 minutes. But again, because it's a C, got to take a little bit. It's a little bit, not exactly right. And so again, the grid of stuff placements is not in the right order, but there's a grid. There's a table row card, which will show the name, the date, the big three, the birthplace, the rating. And then we go into the detail page and you'll see there's these big chunks that are like, this will be a natal chart. This will be a native one day. So this native, for example, is a card like this, but from a different native. And what exactly is a people with similar placement that would be similar to Celine Dion? We don't know, but
Yeah,
that's
great
we
hypothetical
don't
question, us.
know today. Yeah, we will know one day in the future. And so in Figma, we have the very start of a visual design like thing. As it turns out, lots of purples. We're big into purples here, of what a native might look like on a phone. So we would have a picture with a Rodden rating. This is that like weird little triangle I was showing you before. Name, birth date, or the most accurate birth date that we have for that person, where they were born. And then I have a placeholder for a natal chart. And then I have this thing that's called this placement mini list item. So these placement mini lists are what I was showing here. So imagine that these little cards, maybe with less information on them, would show up down in that list. So you have to use your mind's eye to be like, this thing, which is sketched out here, would be over there. Is there anything else here that's interesting? There's a lot of
Oh, show the moon here because I think this is really cool. Like we don't
yeah.
know
So
exactly 100%,
so
but
depending on the planet and depending on how much information we have about the natives' birth date, time, and location, we can show different things here. So for a planet like Saturn, we can show the placement for the house and the house system that you care about, whether it's going retrograde or not, and the relative speed and acceleration of that planet. So because it's going retrograde, it's going backwards. This is kind of stationed, either station retrograde, station direct, but is accelerating towards stationing direct once again. The sun has a consistent speed, so we don't show the speed monitor here because
yeah,
why would we? But we would certainly show the house. And then the ascendant, it don't really care about the house or the speed because usually either demarcates the first house or sits in the first house
yeah,
by definition.
yeah,
And so there is no house here. But the moon, and I apologize, this is the old house system, which we had a circle, but now we use that little wedge shape thing, which I'll show you again here in a second. And in the moon, we show the kind of periodic motion of the moon over, kind of before and after. And then we show at that time what it was doing. And the reason we do this for the moon is because the moon is relatively consistent between going, I think between, I want to say 11 to 16 degrees per
per day.
day, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly, something like that.
something like that.
Something like that. And let's say that you are Ryan Butler and you care very deeply about lunar mansions. Instead, we might take out the speed of the moon and instead substitute in what the lunar mansion is here. So we're trying to be very adaptive to lots of different styles, whether they are traditional or modern, whether you care about what house system you care about, if you care about lunar mansions, things like that, because we want to make a very extensible system that works really well for everybody. Past that, if you go into the detail page, which I'm very excited about, and I think this was the thing that really kind of sealed the deal on this kind of speed monitor. If you look over time, and I apologize for it, it doesn't look great, but that's okay. It's a start, and we're gonna redo it again. This is where it stationed retrograde. It went through retrograde motion. This is where the chart was cast right here, and then this is where it's going to station direct and then move in forward motion. And you can see here that like if you kind of take this moment in time where the bar is like right here, that's really how much the bar is filled in over here in retrograde motion. Anyways, I'm super excited about this. Trey was not entirely thrilled about it, but it's okay. I'm going to convince him that this is the right way to do it. Very
No, no,
excited
no.
about
I
that.
just for the record, I love this. My only concern was that representing time in a vertical
Yeah,
fashion.
time is vertical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
time is vertical, but that's the cool thing that makes it line up with the these
with this
little,
thing.
these little bar graphs.
Yeah,
And so I think there's a good reason for it, but then we would need to like draw those two things together in a way that makes it make sense in the.
yeah.
So we just no,
If
I
you,
love this. I absolutely love this. I love the.
good. So if you look back at the last episode, last week's episode, we had talked about like data visualization being really one of the powerful things about Cosmic. This is the way in which we're trying to rationalize all of the data and the data visualization to help experience the data as opposed to, just showing you the data, or even worse, just telling you what the data is.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's all these little placements. We just showed what those placements might look like, and then we showed people with similar placements. The thing to get out of this, though, is that we are starting to just get an idea of what the brand might start to look like here. And I got a lot of like stuff that's going on here. And so like, sorry for the naughty word here, but these are Trey's words, not mine. These are the Rodden rating icons as they are probably going to exist today. So straight from AA, which is definitely uh, Trey's data integrity, to A, all the way down to XX. And it just looks more and more foreboding as it gets down the list. And I really enjoy that. But
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
really enjoy that too.
And they are kind of, they're yield signs of a certain type of thing. And then we've got a bunch of colors that we're using, and we're getting into the brand aspects, and we're very excited about all of that stuff.
I'm so excited about it. I'm
Yeah,
really
me
also
too.
like I'm really interested to see how we, where we end up with like light versus dark and things like
Yeah.
that, you know?
If you remember what the light versus dark mode is going to look like, we already started showing this in the Cosmic Console. You can check out that episode up there. But we are going to get to that. Very excited about it. Indeed.
Indeed. Progress.
All right. I hope I don't have COVID, because that was a lot of me hemming and hawing my way through that, which is very uncharacteristic for me. If I have COVID, it's all your fault,
It's
Mr.
somebody's
Henry. Thank
fault.
you
I
very
don't think
much.
it's my fault.
No. We were visiting our friend, and
This is the second time that we have gotten this from the same location, the same geographical location.
the same person was there. Yeah.
Well, there were several same people that was there. Let's not blame them.
Yeah, but there's only one person that keeps testing positive after after we meet them.
No, that's
Anyways,
true.
no, okay. Well, that's fine. Well, hopefully that you also are going to be a data nerd, a data quality and integrity nerd like Lois Rodden. Be well, take care, wash your hands, and go make that data clean as possible. And we will see you again very soon. Bye.